Hey YouTubers, Electric Adventures here with my monthly update for January 2015. Yes, we've already eaten away a month of 2015 already. And first I'll cover off the pickups that I didn't cover in a pick up and play video. So these are mostly more modern pickups. Now the first one, I'll blame Brittany Brombatch, the blonde nerd, for this one, because she was talking about a series called Breath of Fire. And immediately afterwards I did the old search thing, and the PS1 copies were just, you know, way too expensive. But this one popped up for the PS2, and I thought I'd get it and give it a try, because I like those sort of games, although this isn't strictly the same as the PS1 games that she was talking about. But I have had a bit of a play of it, and it's Breath of Fire, Dragon Quarter. So it's more... Sorry. It was only a couple of dollars. More full-on 3D. And I've started playing a little bit of it. It was obviously an ex-rental. Sorry, disc is in the PlayStation 2 inside the house. It's got a little note down there. The manual's in not too bad condition. It's had plastic, you know, the clear plastic put over it, which has preserved it, so that's fine. I don't really mind for PS2 games. So just a game that I was sort of interested in having a play of, and I've started playing it. I haven't got very far though. I've had an interesting month, which I'll get to next. Now I had one more JB Hi-Fi voucher. This one with a couple of dollars thrown towards because it was on special. I'd seen another article and it sounded interesting. It's a bit like, I suppose in a way, a bit like, I assume, Bayonetta on the Nintendo Wii U, a similar sort of battling game, or I suppose like God of War and things like that. And it's Freedom Wars. And I actually did enjoy God of War on the PS2, and thought I'd give that a go. I haven't had this very long though, so I've only really played the intro, because I didn't get a chance to go in and do that. You don't get any manual of these things anymore, you just get the card. The card's in my Vita. It's a fairly large game, save, and yeah, just another interesting item to add to the Vita collection, and you know, I'll continue playing that one. So that's the current game I'm playing for the Vita, although I've actually been playing the Minecraft on the Vita as well, but enjoying that. Just a good little game to just pick up and go when I've got the Vita with me. Now, as far as there's one more pickup that I got, it was only last week. I got hold of another CRT TV, and I'll show it with pictures here rather than grabbing the camera and showing it. It's a low TV, which was a pretty high-end TV back in the day. And one of the most important things about it is that it has a 100 Hertz vertical refresh rate, which means it can handle just about anything that's chucked at it. And it has two SCART sockets on the back and normal composite stereo inputs on the front. And you can actually program what the SCARTs do, or at the very least the second SCART can be programmed for AV out. So I'm not sure how I want to handle that, because it depends on, because I want to switch out this TV that you see in my main area there. It's alright, it works for most of the systems, but it can be a little glitchy, and the picture wasn't as good as the older TV that I have. It depends on the system, so it's being a little bit more fussy with the systems. Sort of has this auto detection, and if it's not quite happy with the system, it'll keep on flicking back and forth all the time. So that gets me worried, because obviously I need, you know, I use all these systems and I need a TV that's going to be reliable. But of course it's SCART whereas the TV behind me is just all composite. It does have S-video, and it does have a component on the back, but no system that output component seems to want to have a stable signal on it. So once again, pointing to that it's not 100% well. And the low TV, I should be able to get component out of it, so I should actually be able to have my second Xbox 360 in here as an example and hook that up via component. But I've got to rewire everything, and I also don't want to obviously disrupt me being able to capture gameplay footage. So I haven't, just thrown it into the spot to get hooked up. I need to work out my cabling and how I'm going to capture. I do have a SCART splitter that has a composite output on it, secondary. I was thinking of hooking that up and giving that another go and seeing how we go. Otherwise, there've been a couple of YouTubers who've pointed to some replacement solutions. I think Lactobacillus Prime actually had something recently that he was looking at on Facebook, so I may have to get one of those first, but haven't had time to experiment. And I suppose that leads into the next thing, is why I haven't had time. I've been on holidays for the last month. I haven't actually been away at my holiday home that much. Well, for a start, the weather's been very pretty much different every day. We've had wild storms, and we've also had some hot days, but nowhere near as many as we normally get. And unfortunately, the storms were actually so severe that this house here, and not this actual structure here, which is an external garage, it was fine, but our main house, the roof got damaged in the storm. It is an older house, and the wind vibrated the nails out of the roof and lifted the ridge cap, and we had a lot of water getting to our roof. We've had emergency repairs and got into our electrics and everything like that. They've all been fixed, but there were so many houses in the local area damaged that we're in a waiting list. It's covered in insurance and everything like that. We're in a waiting list to get the rest of the repairs done. And actually 4 days earlier, we didn't actually notice the extent of the down, there was a massive hailstorm as well. This is the middle of summer, by the way, and the hail actually damaged, I've got another storage shed where a lot of these computers and things actually used to be stored before I started setting up this game room, and it smashed the skylight part of that storage shed into a million pieces. Yeah, so we've had a lot of things on, and one of my projects while I was on holidays was to reconfigure the spot where I'm sitting here, which is my I work from this environment as well, and actually technically I used to work from a desk just here, but now I've consolidated everything so that I've got this one desk, and I've built new shelves there and up above me here, where I'm slowly will be migrating the retro computers, and this desk here is an L-shaped desk. I'm not quite finished though, so what I'll do, rather than I think I'll pop a couple of little pictures here of the unit up above me there. The one here is still under construction, so there's no point posting pictures of that, just to show you how I'm progressing, but I'll do an actual full room tour, because we're probably due for one of those soon. Once I've reorganised everything and redone my cabling and probably worked out that TV as well. So there's some of my projects. Now, another thing I'd like to do is, in these monthly videos, I'd like to do a response tag if there's a good one going around, and a great YouTuber called TRexSpaceStation, who asked 5 very good questions. I'd like to do a response to that one. So, his number 1 question was, any point in buying a current gen console? I mean, in general terms, for me, at the moment, it's no. There is no particular game right now for either of the Xbox One and PS4. Now, there's a caveat on the Wii U, because we actually bought one of those when they came out, but for the kids, and I have played a couple of games on that, but I haven't necessarily played it a lot, so I don't sort of count it in the same bucket, although a lot of people do. But as far as the PS4 and Xbox One, there's virtually nothing has come out for the Xbox One that would make me want to buy one. No titles at all. There is a slight niggling there for the Halo series, because I did really enjoy Halo 1 and 2 and 3 on the Xbox. I didn't enjoy the OS. I can't remember the name of that. OSDT one. That's where I went downhill, and I haven't played Halo 4, so it's the series sort of lost me at about that stage. And I don't think there's been any other titles on the Xbox One that would make me want one. And plus, I'm not a fan of DRM and control and everything like that. and the user interface, and how it's, you know, they skimped on some of the components in the system so it doesn't run the same as the competitor, the PS4. But saying that, on the PS4 there's still no particular titles that would make me go out and get one. I mean, there is one title I have seen, a series that I am a big fan of for the PS3, which is the Uncharted series. And when Uncharted, you know, comes out for the PS4, that will finally be the time when I'll think about getting a PS4. And pretty much everything else I could have played on a PC. Any of the ones that interested me. And there's actually been quite a few games coming out for PCs that have interested me more lately than either of those two systems. Now the Wii U, yes, I did get it pretty much near launch day, but it was primarily for the kids. We got Nintendo Land, and that was pretty much the only game we got for it for a little while, and then we picked up Lego City, which I did indeed play and enjoy. And I've picked up a few other games on special, and mainly bought games for the kids for Christmas. Mario Kart was a bit of fun, but I've only had a couple of goes on it. The kids have played it more. And Super Smash Bros. I got for the kids for Christmas, and I haven't played it. I've watched them play it. Probably the game I played most after Lego City was the Resident Evil game that Basilius Prime sent me. So it hasn't really grabbed me as a system, but in general I haven't been playing a lot of PS3 or Xbox 360 lately as well, so I just think I'm on a bit of a modern game slump, so I'm probably not the best person to be asking that particular question. Now, question number 2, what do you think about indie games? Well, being an indie game developer, or an indie retro game developer myself, of course I'm very much in favour of indie games, and I think a lot of this, the fact that the modern systems haven't been necessarily grabbing everybody, because a lot of the innovation in the games has gone out of them. A lot of people continually saying that a lot of the games they're playing the most are the ones they're downloading from the indie, the indie marketplaces on both the PlayStation and the Xbox, and obviously, because that's where the innovation is. That's where where a small bunch of people, or sometimes rarely a single person, comes up with an idea. And if you think about it, what's one of the biggest games that has come out in the last 5 years? And it's Minecraft, and it was made by one person, and now it's turned into a huge thing. Right? There's not a lot of other titles, even in the last 5 years, that have really stood out, even on the older systems, that have grabbed the sort of attention that sort of game is. And it was a completely new franchise, a completely new idea, and it sprang from an indie developer. So totally in support of indie stuff, and I like to support them where I can. And also, a lot of the time indie games are less than $10, and you don't mind paying less than $10 for digital content, because you'll pay it for a short time and enjoy it, and it doesn't matter if it disappears down the track. Do hold big exception with paying full retail price for a game, and the servers stop working, and they stop supporting it, or you don't even get all of the game for the money you pay. So that sort of thing has totally, I think, soured me towards a lot of modern gaming now. Number 3, will there be any changes in your channel? I suppose one change is that I've actually created a second channel. It's called Electric Adventures Gameplays, because primarily this channel is about my pickups, and I do play every game that I pick up. My monthly up-to-dates, my Let's Make a Retro Game series, and my A to Z of my MSX collection series. Those particular series, that's all about my retro collecting and everything like that. But also, personally, I like to go for high scores, but I don't feel comfortable with uploading 5 attempts at a high score on a game on this channel, because I feel that it it dilutes the quality of the other type of videos that I make. It's not the intention of this channel. So on that channel are purely gameplays and high score attempts. So the scores I do for the Tubers high score contest, which I do enjoy, are on that channel. Me trying to get back my world record on Sequest will be on that channel. I don't really care how many people watch that. It is simply a mechanism for me uploading those videos so they can be registered on the high score tables. And whether it gets subscribers or not, I don't really care. I'll put a link down there for those that are interested, but this is my main channel and this is the main focus of my, what I call my creative content will be. Interesting, our sun, you can see our sun changing angle now. My opinion on selling games or downsizing. Well, I'm sort of a person who doesn't sell games pretty much ever. It is difficult for me to sell games because our postage costs are terrible. So in Australia here, I can list games on eBay and sometimes they won't sell because of the prices that eBay quotes the people. So, to sell a $5 game, they've got to pay $12 postage. It's actually quite ridiculous. So I sort of give up, and I don't have enough time to go to a market and sell games, or even that's why I don't get to the market to buy games. So, and we're like that with a lot of stuff, not just retro games. We have a whole lot of kids' toys, which is currently in the progress of cleaning up, and single beds and pieces of furniture and things like that, and we never get around to selling them. Quite often I will in the end take them to a charity shop myself just to clear out and get some more space. So I'm not a very good person into selling things. Now as far as downsizing, I may do some deleting and pruning at some stage, because over the cycle of collecting, you go through things where you're after particular items and you end up buying items that either come with in bulk items or items that you thought you might be interested in, and in the end you don't ever think you're going to play them. So sometimes it's better to let them go and go on to the next collector. So I'm happy for anybody to sell their whole collection and rebuy it again or anything like that, because it's their own stuff. It doesn't really matter. So, but all I'm saying is basically what I do, which is I'm just not a person who sells stuff. So, and I give stuff away in trades. That's usually how I get rid of my duplicates. Saying that, I've been cleaning up this area and I found a lot of duplicates, so I'll probably have to do a trades video soon. Now, do you still play multiplayer games in person? Not me personally a lot, because I don't actually get a lot of physical visitors here, although I do on occasion, and when I do, we've played something like 2-player fighter games or something like that. Playing other multiplayer games like Mario Kart and things like that has mainly been the avenue of the kids rather than me nowadays. Although I would love to have a bunch of people over here and play, like 8-player Bomberman or something like that. That would be great. So I'm interested in it. And then you go to the next step of online games. I've actually never played an online game other than Minecraft. And I've never used the PS3 or the Xbox 360 networks to actually play any online thing. It just doesn't... It's just not the sort of games I play, and it hasn't interested me up to this stage. It's also another thing, like when I read some of the articles that Elite Dangerous, I was very interested in that, and that they were going to get rid of the single player campaign. I lost interest in it completely until somebody recently indicated to me that that wasn't the case. So I've started looking at it again. Yeah, it's just me. It's just my preference and everything like that. So, all right, I'll probably ramble. They're all the questions that T-Rex asked. So make sure you go check out his original video. I'll put a link down below. And another quick little update. So because of all the calamity with the house and getting things fixed and everything like that, I've fallen a little behind on my Let's Make a Retro Game, and as you would imagine, that series has a lot of preparation work. I've got to make sure everything's correct and the downloads are right and all the articles are right before, and I've got to record content and edit it all together. So those episodes will resume probably in about a week's time. Realistically, I need that time just to polish off the next episode, because it starts getting more complicated from now on. But I do enjoy making those, and I enjoy that people have appreciated those episodes, and the series will continue. Right, sorry about a small jump cut there. Tea was ready, so I went off and had that. Tacos, by the way. Anyway, that's pretty much it for me this month. So this is really only the closing remarks. Other than, you know, what's coming up, more of the same. So A to Z of my MSX collection. Obviously the Let's Make a Retro Game series, which I was just talking about. Definitely some more pick up and play episodes. And maybe some more response videos during the month as well. We'll see how we go. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video and I haven't rambled on too long. Thanks to all my subscribers, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.